going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Fansview podcast. As you can see, I am here at WrestleCade with the one and only former voice of TNA Impact Wrestling, one Sam Leterna. Sam, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well. We're here at WrestleCade weekend, and there's so much going on, and it's kind of like a mini family reunion for me. I get to see a bunch of people that live all over the country, all over the world, that I sometimes get to work with only once or twice, but, you know, they're people I love. So, yes, I'm very excited to be here. A little tired, but here to support my friends who are wrestling shortly, so, yeah.
So how was it last night with the TNA pay-per-view going on downstairs? Was it a little bit of FOMO already kicking in? Do you miss it yet?
Oh, you know, like TNA specifically? Yeah. So I think everyone goes through that period where, you know, if you get let go of any job or you choose to move on from any job, like whatever the case, like you're going to wonder if you made the right decision or, you know, was it me? Was it them? You know, there's all these questions, right? Because we tend to doubt ourselves a lot, and we should not do that. But first month I was definitely a little bit sad. But instead of like wanting to be in control, like I want to be in control of everything that I do. I'm very organized. This year I learned how to kind of like let that go, especially as it relates to wrestling. I like still work hard, still take action, but what's meant to be is meant to be, and the universe has done this for a reason. And I'm still so grateful that I get to support people in the TNA locker room that I call friends. Literally, two of my really good girlfriends, Masha and Jordan, had a match last night. And it doesn't matter if I work there or not, because at the end of the day, like, I get to see these two ladies absolutely kill each other. And, you know, just knowing the friendship that exists between them, and then that we were able to build together at TNA, a friendship amongst the three of us and others, is really important. So takeaway is really good people at TNA. Absolutely. And it was nice to still be in the locker room and say hi to people, you know? So that's good. And I'd absolutely go back to TNA one day if the opportunity arose.
Love it, love it. So when would you say that you really caught the wrestling bug? Are you someone that came in late, or were you a lifelong fan?
I've been a fan since I was 7 years old.
Wow.
So I've been watching since 2002, I believe. I stumbled upon a random wrestling show that I had no idea what it was. None of my family, none of my friends watched wrestling, but my mom had this like illegal cable box thing. You remember those? The black ones?
The black box.
And one of them was the pay-per-view channel. And I remember because it like changed my life. I kept scrolling, found this random channel with wrestling on it. Turns out it was a free pay-per-view channel.
Wow.
And what was on was Lesnar versus Kurt Angle at King of the Ring when Lesnar won. And that was the first match that I ever saw full length of pro wrestling. And I was just hooked. And I don't think I knew it then, but clearly here we are. Yeah. And I'm still a fan, and I'm so blessed to work in the industry. So, yeah, I love wrestling. I love old school wrestling. I love, you know, the current era, the era I grew up on. It's all good.
So with 2002, wow, do we realize how close you were to accidentally seeing Katie Vick and just ending your wrestling career before it started?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it could have just.
That was right around that time, like October maybe.
Yeah, but there was so much good stuff happening at that time. Like obviously, the Attitude Era was gone, and there was like maybe a period of uncertainty. But then you had people like, you know, Batista, Cena, Edge, even like people who get like lesser attention, like Jamie Noble. Yeah. Amazing. Billy Kidman, like those were two of my favorite cruiserweights. I love to hate Jamie and Nydia. I saw her at a convention.
The big event.
Yes, I saw her at the big event, and it was so weird because earlier that week I was like, yo, where the heck is Nydia at, when I was in a carload? And I manifested meeting this lovely woman, and we were in the bathroom in the morning. I was like, are you Nydia? And she's like, yes. And I literally told her, I manifested you. It's so lovely to meet you. I loved you in my childhood. So yeah, crazy stuff.
That's amazing. So I've seen in my little bit of research that you did have a brief wrestling career, like in ring.
Yes.
What
did
happened?
your research? I respect
I did
that.
a little bit. Is that something you're interested in pursuing again, or is that kind of in the rear view for you?
So it's definitely in the rear view. It's not like so much of a never say never thing, but I very much so feel like my level of execution in the ring, it's never been what like you see like the Mustafa Ali's, the, you know, Masha Slamovich's of the world do in the ring. So if I can't do that justice, then for me, and this is just my opinion, I'm doing a disservice to wrestling. So I found a spot that worked for me, and I never thought that it would, but I'm very grateful for the wrestling training that I did have. I trained under Johnny Rods, and then I trained under Lance Storm, and I learned so many good things from both of them about, you know, how to act in the business, how to be a good person, and just wrestling psychology, particularly from Lance, and that informs my commentary, that informs how I do interviews. Like, I don't think people realize that like commentary and what goes on in a match are like basically
Yes.
the same flow.
Yes.
You know, so you do need to have an understanding of what goes on. That's why, you know, sometimes in the past with, I believe, WWE, when they've had, you know, some people come in from outside of wrestling and just throw them into commentary,
Right.
it's hit or miss because, A, if you don't love this, I think passion or lack thereof shines through. And yeah, if you don't know wrestling, it's a whole lot to get involved in.
Awareness is a big
Yeah.
portion of it that people
Yeah.
just, and the self-awareness that it takes to understand, like, okay, maybe this isn't my avenue, but to know that there's other avenues, you know, to
Yeah.
explore.
Because that's sad, right? You want to like
Exactly.
you want to be
wanna
a
be the
wrestler,
best at
right?
what you're doing.
Yeah, everyone wants to be a wrestler, right?
Of
but
course.
then if you're really secure in what you do, I think there's a point where like I take so much pride in my broadcasting work,
Right.
and like I truly, and I don't mean this with cockiness, I've just wanted to be undeniably great at what I do, and to have like some level of recognition now, it just makes me happy because, you know, I was just working so hard at it for so many years. Even before that
Right.
with wrestling, my intention has always been to be in this industry.
I love that so much. Did you have, obviously you said you wanted to be a wrestler, but did you have a favorite maybe ring announcer growing up, a commentary team that you're partial to?
So I grew up on like JR and Jerry Lawler,
Yeah.
but I'm a personal fan of Michael Cole just because I do think that he's just so seamless with everything he does. This man just never misses a beat.
He's
Yeah.
so good at his job that
Yeah.
it's so underappreciated.
And there's nothing he couldn't do. Like, I bet the man can ring announce too.
I'm sure he could.
You know, and I mean, that's a testament to his whole career, like 30 years, I believe now, maybe more at
Yeah.
WWE. But yeah, I also, in terms of TNA, I really enjoyed Mike Tenay when he was on commentary. I'm a huge fan of Tom Hannafin. He helped me tremendously when I was at TNA, and his mind for the business is amazing. He was trained directly by Michael Cole, so just to be like kind of a descendant of that knowledge is just super cool. Yeah. But I love Alicia Taylor. She's my favorite announcer that I've drawn inspiration from. She's on SmackDown currently. But I loved Lillian Garcia when I was a kid just because there was something so likable about her. You
Yeah.
know, she had that energy. I think that one time she got hit with the ring bell and took a bump. Like I had so much respect for that. You know, like I would take a little bump if it was for the good of the match. You know, like and then just like lay
Absolutely.
out. But yeah, so those people. But yeah, Alicia Taylor is like my number one right
Okay,
now.
and see, you took the next question right out of my mouth. Who are you watching
Oh,
now?
sorry.
So what would you consider to be the hardest part of your job that maybe people don't see because they do only get to see you when you're ring announcing briefly on camera, or they hear you on commentary? They maybe don't understand all the hard work that goes into those two jobs specifically.
Yeah, I'm sorry. As far as did you say commentary and ring announcing?
Either
or?
one. What's
Yeah.
a challenge that maybe people don't?
So everything is different. With ring announcing, I think the biggest challenge is, well, first off, like maybe doubting your voice, which at times I did. But in terms of just on a regular work day, if you're working in indie and let's say it's your first time there and you don't know all of the talent, sometimes you don't get the card the day of. Things aren't advertised necessarily. So it can be really hard to get like 40 people's names when everyone's running around. You don't know them. And sometimes people just want like really, really long stuff. And there are ones that I like that are super, super long, like Jackson Drake's at, I work with him at Arrival. He's one of the recent ID guys. He has just such a long one. It's like weighing in at 180 natty, call me daddy, like, you know, all this. I'm like, oh, and it goes on and on and on, but it has this really good flow. So it, like, if it's cool, I like it. And then with commentary, you really just, it depends how you want to do things as a commentator, but being over prepared is like so important because you never know what's going to get thrown at you. Commentary, in my opinion, is the hardest and like the highest art of all of the broadcasting stuff within wrestling. Like if you can ace that, like I think just the respect level that you have from doing that is really important. But yeah, commentary can be difficult, but that's more on yourself to prepare and then to chat with the wrestlers, chat with the promoter, to, you know the plot. I don't want to say too much, but to know the plot and to understand the assignment. And then with interviews, I think people think interviews are really easy.
They're not.
They're not, as you know. And there's an art to it. There's an art to doing a live interview versus like, you know, a pre-taped interview. And a lot of the times on the indies and even, you know, at TV companies I have worked for, I've not really been produced or been given much input. Like, the onus is really on you to produce yourself, write yourself. If you don't have a camera guy, you get a tripod, you get your equipment, as you know, and you have to make it happen yourself.
Right.
And sometimes that footage isn't always the most like cool angles and stuff like what you see on TV, but you got to make it work, right?
Yep.
And if people, it's also like really hard to get respect when you're first getting into the business in any way, but as a broadcaster or a non-wrestler, you really do have to like make people trust you, right? Like when I started doing this in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic, I knew some people from like when I wrestled, which was great, but then there was a whole other group of people that had no idea who I was. Why are you at the Collective doing interviews for IWTV? This is random. Who's this girl? So there's that distrust, but then over time, now those people who were weary to give an interview, want me to interview them. And it's not even like, oh, we need Sam to interview me, like, but it's just there's that respect. Like, they know I am not going to make them look bad.
Right.
Like, I don't ask questions that would make a wrestler feel stupid or like expose them, shall we say. So yeah, it's just about giving that respect, having that respect, and also I think having respect for wrestling, because that'll show in your work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring this thing home for you because God knows.
Oh my God, I just drooled.
You've got
kind of. Anyway, whatever.
You've got a million things going on this evening. This is the Fans View podcast, so I love to get to know performers, outside of the ring. What are you a fan of outside of the ring?
Ooh, I love reality TV. That's one of the darker sides of my personality. I love it all. But I guess something with more depth. Like, recently I've become really into like health and wellness, like certain types of eating and stuff like that. And I've really leaned into like Pilates and yoga and just like overall wellness. Like, I have a nice routine at home. I've gotten into taking like supplements and learning about like planting my own vegetables and stuff. I live in New York City, so I have a balcony, but it's like, it's not ideal.
I was just about to say, aren't you a New York girl?
Yeah. It's a bigger balcony for New York, but like, what am I gonna grow on a balcony?
So it's 3 foot instead of 2 foot.
It's like a 4x12.
Ooh,
yes, it's a 4x12.
Bougie.
It's not bad. I have roommates though. Don't get it twisted. But yeah, I'm really into like, I think I'm on a wellness journey right now, and I know that sounds kind of rah-rah hippie BS, but I feel like I'm in the best physical, mental, emotional shape of my life because I've made these changes in my diet, in my exercise, and so I'm just talking to anyone about it.
Very
and
cool.
All the wrestlers think I'm crazy.
I'm glad I could give you a platform. What would you consider, I'm going to get deep on you here.
Yes.
What would you consider, wrestling related or not, to be maybe the best piece of advice that you've received? Yeah.
Keep your eyes open, your eyes and ears open, and your mouth closed.
I like that one.
I won't say who said it, though.
She's so nice. Keep it shut. And finally, at this stage in your life and in your career, obviously you're going through a lot of changes.
Yeah.
What does the term success mean to you?
For me, success means knowing that you did your very best, but also having the respect of your peers. Just like to simplify it. But I think success on like a deeper level, especially for where I'm at right now, I've made this clear. Like, recently I was on the Dave LaGreca show after Bully Ray, who was really rude to me at Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. But anyway, Bully, if you're watching, bye. I'll deal with you later, sir. But yeah, like I'm putting it into the universe. I want to do this, with a TV contract. I want to sign my first TV contract. I was never under contract in MLW, NWA, or TNA. So I don't know what's next, but I hope it's something good, and I trust that the universe will provide whatever I deserve based on the work I put in.
Absolutely.
And will continue to put in. So yeah, maybe it's a revolving door, maybe it's a new opportunity. Yeah.
Beautifully put. So that's usually the last question I ask, but see, I'm a Jersey kid that's transplanted to South Carolina.
That is random.
So trust me, I'm telling you, Tom's River right here. So I have 3 bonus questions for you, just real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wawa or Sheetz?
Wawa. Used to be a Sheetz gal, though.
That's my girl. Come on, Wawa for the win. There's no other answer. Hard roll or anything else?
What is a hard roll? I'm serious. Maybe I know what it is.
We're moving on. Then I'm
going to say anything else.
Jets or Giants?
Ooh, I don't watch football. Patriots. Patriots.
Oh.
When I choose Patriots.
Oh my God, you're gonna get kicked out of New York City.
Probably, but I'm a staunch Yankees fan. Don't mess with me.
Well, that's good. 'Cause I'm a Red Sox fan.
I have a shirt that says I root for the Yankees and any team that plays
Boston.
Sox.
Yeah. Of course, naturally. Well, Sam, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out. I didn't think we'd be able to do this, but we were able to pull it together at the 11th hour.
I agree. Yeah, we met in person, and it was just a
I
spontaneous
wooed her,
thing.
and it was just...
No, Jarrett was actually incredibly professional. You'd be surprised at some of the garbage that winds up in my DMs. Like, I expect people to contact me the way I contact people.
I want to do a whole nother podcast and just talk about that.
You're lovely. You're a very good interviewer, and yeah, if you ever need any help getting interviews with people I know, you let me know.
Thank you so much. And
Yeah,
where
no
can
worries.
people get a hold of you?
So you can, follow me on Insta and on X. Those are the two main things I'm on. I don't do Snapchat. Don't add me on Facebook if you know my real name. Like, it's cool, but I'm just not on there, and you're not going to see any cool stuff. I've hidden all of my high school photos. But anyway, yeah, so Sam Leterna on X and on Instagram. My last name is spelled Leterna, and just keep an eye out for whatever is next.
That's right. And until next time, guys, this has been Jarrett with The Fans View. And don't forget, call your mom.
If you haven't liked or subscribed,
You're going to be joking me.